I started the year with over 450 unread books on my shelves, and I put them all in this giant jar. And every month for a reading vlog, I try to read or get rid of as many of them as possible. And so far, it's been good. The last two, there was a lot of decluttering, which was putting me in a reading slump. So we're gonna hope that this time we find some actual good ones. So me, giant jar. I'll put on the screen how many we were down at because again, I can't remember anything. But let's hope that the jar is going to be nice to me because I need it. Great. Oh, that was not planned. But green is fantasy, which honestly usually stresses me out. To be honest, almost every color in here for every time. But fantasy, the ones that are unread on my shelf tends to be really thick. But I have been actually reading them again. I took a break for almost 2 years for some reason. I was only reading the like cozy fantasy. I'm nervous. Am I gonna be okay with this? Has it been nice to me? Oh, that's perfect. This is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which clearly I struggle. I was when I tried to write it down. Yeah. Let me grab it first. So as always, we have my 2 fantasy shelf, and it should be. This shelf is so empty. Do you remember beginning of the year? We went through a lot of these books, and there it is. I'm actually excited about this, but I feel a little embarrassed. This is the perfect example as to why I want to do this challenge. Because yes, I want to declutter, get rid of the books that I've gotten years ago, and that since either my taste has changed, but it's usually that I've heard things and you guys warned me and like I realized, yeah, you're right. But sometimes some books just fall into the cracks. This was actually from my Amazon wish list, which thank you. And I always meant to actually read it and it just never happened. Like I would prepare my TBR and always forget about it. I've seen the movie and did like it. And I actually just read the other prequel that just came out for the Hunger Games. So like I've always meant to read this and it just never happened. So the good news is it's finally happening. It's going to be a quick, fun read. And I will most likely, like 99% chance that I'm going to love this. So like this is perfect. Let's look at, ooh, that's nice. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to be able to compare it to the movie. All I know is that a lot of people that have seen the movie but not read the book were fantasizing a little too much on snow. I've seen the edits, so I'm curious to see how it's going to compare to the actual book because I've been told that you're like a lot more in his head, so you realize how messed up he is. So I'm excited. Okay, it's right over 500 pages, but it's the Hunger Games. They tend to be such like engaging books. I'm gonna grab some Post-its and we're gonna get to work. I would like to take this moment to shame Chunky because he has been the worst kitty this week. He has beaten Chip for the first time ever because Chip is always the worst kitty of the week. But no, Chunky just won this week because this little he-hole has been jumping on the counters, which, you know, he's not supposed to, but cats will be cats. And he has broken 2 glasses. Well, 1 glass and 1 mug. It's not even on purpose. He's just so not good at jumping that he will slip and push whatever's behind him. So yeah, he jumped the first time 3 days ago and my glass of water exploded in the sink, which that was fun. And then this morning, I put down my mug of tea on the counter so I could use the bathroom. And he managed to do it again. And my mug of tea exploded so hard that I found pieces in the stairs 2 meters away. So you owe me a mug, okay? Like a glass of water, sad, but like a mug. And it was a good size mug too. So yeah, you can purr and be cute and everything, but you owe me a mug. Show your toe beans so you can make money on the internet. Do you see those toe beans with thumbs? So yeah, let's join together and shame Chunky in the comment section because he's a terrible cat. Claudia's right there staring at me, but you're a terrible kitty. And you owe me a mug. Update time. I have made a lot of progress. I have like 100. Are you really doing your nails on my chair? I can't have anything nice. Anyway, I have 150-ish pages left. I'm going to really try to finish it tonight. I had a long week and I made some great progress. I'm going to give it that. But I can read 150 pages tonight. I can do that. So, update, because I put a bunch of post-its. I am at chapter 24, page 369. So, yeah, almost exactly 150 pages left. And I'm really enjoying it. I will say, it's very, very similar to the movie, but I'm appreciating that you're really getting more insight into who Snow is, right? Because I keep calling him President Snow in my head anyway, even though he's a kid. But it's shocking how everyone really likes him. Because you get the inside of his head, right? And you're like, oh. Oh my god. Okay, I'm looking at my post-its and I just saw the first one I put, which is that scene. So that was kind of shocking. But yeah, I'm really appreciating that we get more of who he is, how he became the way he is, and how you see similarities as to what's going to happen when, you know, the Hunger Games with Katniss will be happening. I will say there was a little bit more, like, not romance, but like I get more of the depth that you can't really compare to the movie, right? Because the movie is obviously much faster. I will say, I might regret saying that out loud, but I will say that I'm starting to feel for him, have a little bit of empathy that he would never have, but a little bit of empathy for how he has to keep dealing with, how do you pronounce his name yet? Like, Sejanus, whatever. Because the guy obviously has a big heart, and, like, I don't disagree with him, but the way that he goes around to helping others just keep making things horrible for everyone else around him. And obviously I know what's going to happen, but I'm just saying that, like, at times I almost feel for empathy for Snow. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. Hopefully that made sense and doesn't make me sound completely insane. I will say also that he has moments where he conveniently ignores situation. Like, it's hinted heavily, like, it's heavily implied that Tigris, his cousin, has had to do things during the rough times, and, like, he just refuses to admit it to himself. Like, nothing that can make him uncomfortable will exist. And same thing with Lucy. Whoa, I had a moment there. Clearly. I said, it's been a long week, and the cats are absolutely insane. Like, this is what... Look at this little a-hole. Are you serious? I hope it's not lead paint. So if you hear that noise, that's Chunky. I've given up a long time ago with him. So, gosh. I love that I was able to catch that on camera. Are you gonna stop? Oh my god. Okay. But yeah, it's also implied with Lucy that she's had to do, like, people are starving, and he didn't have to do anything like that, but, like, it's so beneath him that he can't imagine, you know. Anyway, it's also really creepy how much... I'm not hitting him. I'm hitting where he stands. Oh, he will not stop. Oh my god. Okay, you're an idiot. I love you, but my gosh, you're an idiot. I swear this whole video is about shaming Chunky. You really get, because in the movie, that's one of the things that I don't think was as clear as the book. It's how possessive he is of her, like how she's obviously his, but even when he thought lowly of, well, I guess he still, he always does, but no matter how above her he sees himself, he still thinks of her as his, and, like, of course everyone would see it that way, right? And that is, I don't know, maybe it's just me. When I watched the movie, I've only seen it once, I didn't get that as strong of a vibe. We're gonna go with that. But yeah, the fact that he also feels really bad that, well, not really bad, but he judges Sejanus because he's his only friend and he thinks it's sad, as if he has any friends himself. Like, he just has a group of people that think that they're above everyone, which also, I feel that's another thing that I didn't really
get from the movie is the fact that all the students that are at the academy that are forced to being mentors, not all of them are awful people. I don't know why. Like, I feel like growing up reading and watching the Hunger Games, you see people from the Capitol maybe as not knowing what's going on, but no, the students, some of them were surprisingly more aware and like against the Hunger Games than I got from the movie once again. I can't help but compare the two, right? And yeah, he's really annoyed by Sejana's being like the right thing to do. It's always going to be inconvenient for him. Tigers, you definitely get that from the movie, that she really sees the best in him. She would be the one that knows him the best, and yet she just nobody gets how messed up he is. Oh, also, whenever they talk about how 13 had all the snow money, that must have been extra hard in, the actual Hunger Games, when he realizes... Is that a spoiler? I don't think any of this stuff should be a spoiler. But that explains why he would be even more pissed of the situation. Like, they ruin his life, So I might need to lock myself in this room, because otherwise... Actually, it's supper time. So I think once he actually eats, it will count. Honestly, Chunky is the most annoying cat in the entire world when he wants attention, but usually just... Like... He's relentless. Usually he meows, which he hasn't been as whiny. Probably because he knows now that he can just annoy me differently. Chunky, are you hungry? Oh, there you go. I think that was okay. I think I solved my issue. If my phone is moving, it's Charlie. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that. Then maybe I will have some peace and quiet, and I'll be able to read. And I'm going to try to finish it tonight so I can move on to book 2, because I really want to get to 2 books for this challenge, because the last couple of times I did a lot, but it's because I kept getting rid of them. I'm enjoying it, in case that wasn't... I was so distracted. I'm sorry. I know some of you wanted more of the cats, but this is what I deal with. This is why. He's currently like, dude, you said the word and then you're not doing it. So, do you want food? Wow, I wish you saw that. Okay, let me quickly update you. I have things to do. We have to go through my shelf so I can get rid of more books for my unhaul video that's coming. My yearly unhaul. I finished this book and I need to pick up another one because time is passing. So, long story short, I do feel like the book is very, very close to the movie with, I feel, more depth for, this inner world, which, again, the possession of Lucy. But I still feel weird about him being so well loved because everyone perceives him so differently. And the sentence when he's like, it was difficult for him to accept such a, basic life because he's so exceptional. I feel like that summarizes him as a character. Sejanus, whatever, still causing issues, which I can't believe I said that last time. Snow feels like, well, what else was going to happen with that? But can we just acknowledge, because I forgot, I feel like, after seeing, the movie adaptation of this book, how freaked out he must have been when Katniss started singing these songs and, like, reminding him way too much of Lucy. Good. But yeah, the fact that he doesn't see her as a victim at all, right? She wasn't made of sugar, blah, blah, blah. Like, she's a winner, so, like, clearly she's a victor. She's not innocent, as if she wasn't forced to. But he is, Anyway, I think I'm going to give it 4-star. This was a solid read. I'm really, really happy that I finally got around to reading it. So I'm going to pick another one, and then we're going to go through the shelves so I can get rid of a couple more. I'm going to go quickly because I tend to be pretty good at right away putting the ones I'm not enjoying directly on the unhaul shelf, but a quick little sweep, we might be able to add a couple in there. I don't want to forget, so let's put our first one in the little one, and we need to pick another one. Okay, it's too dark over there. Ooh, can you hear the echo? Okay, let's pick. Red. Mystery, thriller, horror. That's okay, actually, that's okay. That's okay. That's a long one. Ooh. There. The Final Girl support group. I have it. So this is going to be my 5th book by Greedy and Riggs. However, actually the 4 books I have read by him, I all gave them 4-star. They were all rounded up or down to 4. His most recent one is my favorite. I tend to like the way he writes his female characters. And I'm saying it that way because horror and like female characters, especially like teenage girls that he often does, it can be so iffy, but I've had no issues with it. With that said, I was told that this one was by far the worst. So I'm going into it with very low expectations, plus the title, the cover, everything reminds me of Final Girls by Riley Sager, which I don't read his books anymore because he cannot write a female character to save his life, and I was so tired of reading. Like when your plot relies on your female character being dumb over and over and over and over again, I'm over you. So it seems a little too similar. Girls that survived, you know, serial killers or whatever. So we'll see. I have very low expectations. Ultimately, I just want to make decisions. That's the whole point of this challenge. So let's go through my shelves though. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put it here and we're going to come back to that after, but let's get rid of a couple books. Okay, so let's start on this side. We have fantasy and sci-fi. So I did have a shelf that contained the ones that you guys warned me about. That's not actually this. I was told that these didn't necessarily age well, but these are fine. These are the ones, all the ones that people told me about this, that they weren't going to be as good as I thought they would be. I read other books about this author and I had issues with it, but I still want to try these. This one I've heard that it's amazing or awful. I've heard both. These ones I have read. I did like this trilogy. I haven't tried these. Okay. I'm realizing I really need to reorganize them, but let's see. Is there anything else? Was there a warning on these or not? I don't remember. I have read a good amount of these. You know what? Yeah. What about this one? Tell me all about it. This is mostly Brandon Sanderson. I think I was told that this was not the best way to start, so let me know. Yeah, and then I haven't read, or I have read. Were those part of the ones I was getting rid of? I think so too. Okay. The other side, I've been warned that these haven't really aged well, but I'm still, you know, for shits and giggles, I want to read them. I don't think I'm going to have any issues on this side. It's mostly female authors. They tend to be less problematic. Well, actually upstairs. Oh, I have read this one and I don't think I'm going to keep it. I still want to try this one by her though. This one I preferred the movie, but I might keep it for now. And yeah, I think everything else can stay. Okay, sci-fi. Again, I need to reorganize my shelves. They are messy, but I don't think there's anything that stands out right now that I want to get rid of. A lot of these are favorites, obviously. The ones that weren't bad enough for me to get rid of. So I don't think this series I feel very questionable about. But and these ones I need to give them a shot before. Actually, I have read this one, and you know what? I don't think I need to keep it. Okay, this side, I feel like a lot of these are probably iffy, but I am not ready to get rid of this these editions. They're too pretty. Nothing is standing out. Oh, this one, yes, can go. And yeah, these I need to try them. Oh my gosh. Okay, the mess at the bottom is because the cats keep pushing the books off the shelves, and then I just put them there so they're not on the floor so I can vacuum, and then I just never reorganize them. This one probably should go, but I like this edition, but like it's time, Emily. It's ridiculous.
Okay, it's dark, but hopefully you can still see. So we have my mystery thriller horror. This is classics and then everything else. And then we have nonfiction. And we don't talk about this. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's messy. What's down there? Okay. Oh my gosh. The ones I have read were not bad enough, at least that I want to get rid of them at the moment. I've been warned that this one I probably won't like, but it is what it is. What else? There's a lot that I did not read. I tend to be pretty cutthroat with my mystery thriller horror and just getting rid of the ones I hated pretty quickly. Actually, you know what? Because I don't need to keep. What about? There's a lot of favorites in these next two shelves, but I also put them so they would look nice on the shelf, which I rarely do, but I have to admit, when they all match in height, it does look good. You know what? This was disappointing. I love like 60-year-old women that are assassins. Cool. But it was boring. I did not like this one, but I'm going to keep it for now. But one day it will most likely go. Same thing with this one. I did not care for it, but for now it can stay. What else? What else? There's a lot of Stephen King, which I still don't know what I'm going to do with most of these, but it is what it is. This edition makes me laugh. Ugh. Not because of this, but because feels rude to keep it, but whatever. Honestly, I don't even want to go through this. I know for a fact that I haven't read most of these, so for that reason, you know, they can stay for now, but I have enjoyed a lot of the ones that I did read, so let's focus on the rest. My goal is not to get overwhelmed, but I don't think so. I feel like the ones that might not be for me, I want to give them a shot, so I probably shouldn't keep this one, but I can stay for now. If I was lacking space, I would probably be more cutthroat, but I enjoy having books on my shelf, so it's not that big of a deal. Is there any? I feel like the ones I have read might be on the top. I don't think there's anything that I hated enough. Well, there are definitely some that I didn't care for, but it's fine. And nonfiction, again, I don't really think I have any or that many. Give me a second. Okay, so this is my current Unhaul shelf, and we're adding these. So it's a decent amount. Definitely need to do my yearly Unhaul. Actually, I need to add the creepy book. Don't look at the mess. Why the second one showed up, I don't know, but you're leaving this house, you're freaking me out. So there you go. Boom. Oh, that's a good sign. Okay. Okay, I was not planning on updating right now, but we're just gonna go for it. I'm rocking my... Can you tell? I was outside, I didn't realize how sunny it was. Anyway, I've made some progress, and I just wanted to give a quick update before I do a proper one. And I just checked, this one was published in 2021. I feel like I'm seeing a vast improvement in his writing, but I don't think everything I've read is more recent than that. So I don't know. This one, you guys were right. There's definitely something that doesn't ring as true. Like the way he writes the female characters, it's almost like sometimes he's making them say things. And again, I'm gonna keep an eye out just to complete that thought once I'm done. That like I don't feel like a female author would get away with it. That's where I'm at the moment. So we'll reassess, but I almost put it down at first. I took a day off, came back to it. We're back in business. I'm like 100 pages into it. I'm not loving it. I don't know if it's because of the team of Final Girl. Like I said, I don't have the best experience so far with books on the topic. I don't really necessarily like the main female character, but I don't think you're meant to, so that's not usually a deal breaker, but there's just something, it doesn't ring as true. We're gonna go with that compared to his other books. Like I said, I've read 4. So like at this point, I kind of have an idea of the way he writes, and I've had no issues with any of the other ones. So this one really stands out in a bad way. But 700 pages, I'm not, disgusted by it. So I'm gonna keep going. And
if it doesn't improve, I'll just put it down. That's the whole point of this challenge, right? I'm just realizing this is the look I was rocking outside, okay, in my garden. I planted some flowers and there's like the tiniest little amount that is coming out, and I have been enjoying staring at them, okay? I'll show you when they actually, stay tuned in a few weeks. The growing season in Canada is very short, so I just planted them this weekend because it was too cold at night still. Anyway, I would like to point out that I sound more excited laughing at me and the flowers than at the bugs, so like, not a good sign, but we're good. Look at this little angel. Claudia is the perfect baby, and this is Charlie, just being a little baby too. Okay, so I am giving up the book. I'm not feeling it, and I'm really trying to just learn to give up. It sounds so dramatic. I didn't even make it halfway through, but I just feel like the female character doesn't ring true. She's annoying me. Like, obviously she's been traumatized. She, someone tried to kill her, and now years later she's still in therapy. It's her life 24/7. She, has all these strong rules for herself, like plan B's, escape plans, and all of that, which, like, fine. She also doesn't trust men because of everything she now knows about the situation. Like, it starts not bad. For example, the second sentence of the book is, I'm awake for 5 full minutes before remembering I might die today. So, like, it starts with potential, but then it just is that the books are also containing characters that, they'll mention feminism or whatever, like, talk about it, and I don't, disagree with his stakes, but this one is just so intense. Like, there's a guy at one point that is frustrated. Do I have a post-it for it? Yeah, he's like, Russell lets out a frustrated sigh, probably wishing we were men because then he could communicate with us like adults. And, like, once in a while, it's like, okay, it, puts me in the head of the character. I get how she is. But it's relentless. And, like, here I am complaining about it, which is weird for me to even mention that. And she'll mention, for example, the woman that is their therapist. She sees her with her children, and, like, they're bossing her around as children might try to do. And she's like, it's degrading to watch a woman who held us back from the brink reduced to the status of waitress for her children. So, like, again, it really puts you in her head. But as much as I like, unlikable characters, sometimes I just can't get into it. All of this to say, I wasn't enjoying following her as a character. I found her very grating, and I don't mind unlikable characters, but I guess she's annoying me, and I had an inkling where it was going, so I spoiled myself the ending, which I never do. Like, I'll give up on books and not even look up the ending, and I did, and I was like, that tracks. So I'm not mad that I didn't finish it. The only thing that is weird is because this is my 5th book by the author, and I liked all 4 of the books. If this had been the first book I read by him, I would not have read anything else, because the female characters just annoy me. I thought this might have been, like, one of his first books. I don't think it is. So, like, I don't understand what happened with this one. Maybe it's me. I don't know. If you've read it, I mean, it can't be me. A lot of you told me that you didn't care for this one. So please reaffirm me in the comment section, because I have to put this one on the Unhaul shelf and go rescue Chunky, who is crying for his life at the door because I abandoned him for a whole 5 minutes. Oh, also I need to put the paper in the jar. Let's do that. We have the pal from earlier. And now, boom! That's a lot of books to get rid of. And let's not forget our second. There's a lot of fantasy, but it's because I was getting rid of so many.